And meanwhile, Manasi, let's get set up for the second randomizer.
Amazing performance, Ankita. Love the poem.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
So our second performer tonight is Shailja Rao. And is Shailja Rao available?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Shailja. Shailja is from
Hi.
Virginia, and Shailja will also read a poetry prose for us titled Identity.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shailaja, and pronouns are she and her, and this is my very first time on this platform, so it's exciting and nervous as well. Just wanted to give you a brief intro on my pieces. It's about identity. So for most, our identity is carved out for us. We don't get to freely make choices as even as adults, because we're conditioned in a way that we remain timid and therefore therefore we fear shaking up the status quo. Or we also fail to even question these attributes that get thrown at us. So I'll start with my first piece. It's a very short poem. It's about a young woman who threatens the patriarchal mindset and demands to be recognized for what she is. The second piece expresses the irony of a young woman who tries to assert herself with a particular identity, but comes to a quick realization. So the first poem is titled The Woman in Me. It goes like this. Don't tell me you're like a mother to me, a sister to me, a daughter to me, or compare me to a deity like Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. My heart beats because of me, because I own my true identity. And the second piece is titled When Wearing Sindoor became a symbol of freedom. And this is something that actually happened to me. It's a situation that I faced, and so I just jotted it down a long time ago. This here goes. Those who know me closely know that I do not wear anything that symbolizes marriage. What would be revealing to my family and friends is that decades ago, when I was 21 years old and newly married, one day I wore sindoor in my hair parting. I did not apply sindoor to impress the elders, nor did I pick it up as a fashion statement from the Hum Log or the Bunyad TV series. For those who don't know what these are, these were probably the first ever soap operas that ran on our TV in India. I did not apply sindoor to impress the elders, nor did I pick it up as a fashion statement from the Hum Log or Bunyad's TV series. I did it for me. I thought of it as a symbol of freedom. Freedom from those roadside sleazy gazes and catcalls. Freedom from the creepy and dreaded body contact on the streets, on the bus. It was a symbol that gave me the strength to help me look them in the eye and scream my silent disgust and disapproval. You dare not touch me now. For those few hours, the sindoor gave me the confidence to walk the streets with a sense of heroic achievement. It was a short-lived act, an act to learn about myself, who I am and who I'm not. Symbols are nothing but symbols. We have the power within us to deal with what violates our being. Our voice is to be nurtured and strengthened. It's about living this one life with dignity and integrity. Thank you, that's my time.
Very nice.
Thank you. So today
Thank you.
the theme seems to be developing as women. So, all right, let's go ahead with the third participant. Thank you both for your beautiful poems. Let's see who's next. So our next participant is going to be Shrestha Sen from Las Vegas. And she's going to read poetry for us. And the poem is titled Imagine Sisyphus Happy.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much to everyone who's read so far. That was so great. Thank you. And also thank you to Tasveer for organizing this. I'm really glad to be here and looking forward to attending many more of these. I'll read a shortish poem called Imagine Sisyphus Happy. Imagine Sisyphus Happy. Every morning, my mother would wake at 4:30 a.m., cook our lunches, spoon mouthful after mouthful of porridge or cereal or whatever seemed quickest that day down my brother and my unwilling throats. After that, or however long dressing us took, she'd leave for the university to teach a different set of kids, a different set of spooning, I suppose. She loved them all. For 8 years, she woke me up, fed me, clothed me, went to work, returned, picked us up from our parents, cooked dinner, graded papers, and lived to repeat it all the next day. From the ages 5 to 12, I knew not how tired she was, could not tell you of her misery, or regrets, or need for rest and a Sunday nap. What did I know then of love's routine or patience but me, waiting by the door of my grandmother's bedroom for my mother to arrive and hold me once more. The only joy I worried after, my own, at being home, every day and every day after. Thank you.
So beautiful. I was almost there with you, waiting for your mom. And I know that, anybody who's a mom has gone through exactly that. And if you're a child, you've gone through that too. So beautiful. So let's go ahead and roll the randomizer. See. Nice. So we have Mohammed Shahbaz. And so has Mohammed Shahbaz joined?
I don't think so. I don't see him.
Okay. Okay, maybe we can roll again and see. All right, Rupi. I know Rupi is there. Rupi Nath from Toronto, Ontario. And we're going to have a comedy performance titled Some Thoughts. Welcome, Rupi.
Hi, everybody. A very different mood from all of this very beautiful, somber poetry that we've been sharing. But this is just how my brain works. I used to write poetry. I have some somewhere, but I can't find it right now. So, sorry, 1 second. Let me get to my notes. I do not know how I ever used to stay up late. I'm in Toronto and it's 10 p.m. and I'm way more tired than a 30-something should be. Okay. So something I like to do is whenever I have to call tech support and I'll hear a thick Indian accent and I'm like, okay, it's one of us. But they hear my accent, right? And sometimes it's a long time from the beginning of the call to when they get my name. And I savor that moment because, you know, this voice, and then however long we've been talking, and then I get to say my name and hear them pause. And I have a choice. Like, do I say it correctly? Do I say Rupinder? Or do I say Rupinder? Like, do I make myself sound as white as possible? What is the impression I want to give? What does this tech support person think of me? This probable cousin of mine. I don't understand how, speaking of pronunciation in Punjabi, I don't understand how my mom doesn't say Zeds, even though there is a Z, like Zindabad is a word. There's a Z sound that exists within Punjabi, but for some reason she always says it as J. So like, you know, the stripy animal that looks like a horse, Jibra. And it's just so cute. I love it. Yeah, my mom is great. I love her too. Something else I find funny is that my dad did not want the Covax vaccine, and his reasoning was because it was made in India. And I was like, but Dad, you were made in India. Like, are you saying that you are also bootleg? But he's like, no, I want one of the European ones. And I was like, okay, I don't, there's so many layers to unpack here, but let's just burn the whole suitcase instead. I love my parents, I can distract them with pronunciation conversations. Like, I remember my dad and I were in an argument. I don't even remember about what, but he got very fixated on whether it was A space novel or AN space oval. Like, the word was OVEL. And this was for anyone, if anyone here is a young, this was in the 90s, before you could just look it up and settle the debate. You just had to fight and believe, and one of you was agreed to be right. And I miss those times, really, because sometimes you would have that conversation with someone and you would go your separate ways. Obviously, you know, not my dad, I see him all the time, but let's say like a school friend. I would say, no, it's definitely a novel. And then months, years later, they would say, no, you were wrong. I found out because of X, Y, or Z. And what a crazy thing that the human brain remembers. There's just these very specific facts and who told you, and that they were wrong. And you get that smug joy of correcting them. This is all my I was trying to keep to my clean material, so there's not a lot of it. On the note of my mom, she's great. She doesn't like cats, which seems to be pretty common for older Desi women. Or like, she doesn't hate them, but she's very much like farm mentality. She's used to having them outside the house. She thinks it's disgusting that I let, you know, something that poops in a box onto my bed. And she has a point. Like, when you think about it very logically, it is disgusting. Once she was over at my place, and for some reason, because I think it's because she doesn't like cats love her. Like, they want to gain her affection so much, because cats are just like that. Cats enjoy abusive relationships. The more disinterested you can seem, the more they want your love. So my little kitty cat was trying to get her attention, and she turns around to my little kitty cat and says in Punjabi, or I mean, I guess I could just, I don't know how many of you here understand Punjabi, but I could probably just say it in Punjabi. When I tell this joke to white people, I don't. Minu shad billi. Just because you've somehow convinced my daughter to put up with your poo hands on her bed does not mean you can entice me, or something like that. And I said, Mom, it's not like she understands Punjabi. And she brought up the very good point that it's not like she understands English either. I don't know why I'm assuming that the words that I say make sense to my cat, but my mom's don't. I think that's all I have for today. I know that was a little bit short, but I had a very, very long, tired day. So I hope you enjoyed the few minutes that I got to share. And I'm looking forward to hearing from more of you too.
Thank you, Ruby. If anybody wants to applaud, you can, unmute yourself. Feel free to applaud. Thank you so much. We're actually okay with all types of material, by the way. Just let us know beforehand.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to challenge myself, see if I had 3 to 7 minutes of clean, and it looks like I'll be adding a little more.
Cool. All right, so let's move on to the next performer. I don't know if Mohammed Shabazz has joined. Maybe we can just take him off.
Okay.
And our next performer is Jeet Modi. And Jeet is from Mumbai. And we're going to have some stand-up comedy. Cool. Last time we had some more people from Mumbai. So is Jeet here?
He just messaged that he might be just a little late, so I'm not sure if he's still here.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, are you going to be performing for us? Here's the list.
I wish.
Okay. Well, I guess let's go with the other one. Who was the
That's Shama.
Shama?
Yeah.
So is Shama here? I think Shama also didn't join, right?
I don't see her.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you some of my poems and we'll wait and see if Jeet joins. Otherwise, we'll call it a night. Okay. So I have a couple of poems. And in keeping with the theme of women, you know, I'm going to read one which is titled I Am Woman. I am the no that holds me back. I'm the desire to not be. I'm the moments spent blanking my existence, living in stories that only others see. I'm the countless urges that arise and are stilled, and a few that come through. My life is half awake, half lived, always lost, waiting for an ever elusive harmony. I'm the desire for perfection, never attained. I'm the life that still inexplicably, colorful, created, visible, imperfect, flows relentlessly through me. I'm an erotic sensuousness, clamped down, stifled, carved under a surgeon's scalpel, owned by society. I'm the restless spirit that nevertheless explores and wanders, holding on to the tenuous fibers of my own individuality. I'm the voice snuffed, smothered, stifled for speaking truths that should never ever be. I'm the murmurs that arise and soar and rise in crescendo and shape a different reality. I'm powerful. I'm a shaman, steeped in mystery. I'm those fleeting moments of holding and being held that nurture me. I'm my bungled attempts at nurturance, learned, unlearned, hurtful, spurned, and yet tried over and over and over again, with arms open wide, driven by this aching river of love that flows perennially through me. I'm intensity, I'm sincerity, I'm an alarming shallowness, I'm anger, I'm vitriol, I'm an unbridled viciousness. I'm a clamoring neediness, I'm a destructive maelstrom spent. I'm these noisy voices in my head, I'm those stolen moments of silence. I wish I could be more, be different, be present, maybe even be fixed. I am not. And yet, am I? And that is how perhaps I will forever be. So that is woman. I am woman. And is Jeet Has Jeet joined? Okay, then you're going to hear another one of mine. Okay. So this is one of my very, very early poems, and this actually has a backstory. When I was a kid, my father was in the army, and I used to, he for a very long time was stationed in the Himalayas. And there were times when we used to go stay with him. And, if anybody's ever gone on those narrow roads in the Himalayas, you'll know what exactly this poem is about. So he was, he used to drive an army vehicle called the Jonga. And we would go in these narrow roads, and sometimes there would even be fog there. And you could see the mountain rising, steep mountain rising on one side and the valley falling on the other. And it was so almost scary, but also very thrilling. So this poem came from that, and it's called The Fall. I stand today at the edge of a precipice, with the swirling mists clouding the sheer cliff behind me, and the wind howling in the abyss below. The cliff beckons. I wonder if I should perhaps hazard the climb, and perhaps one day reach the top to see the misty world beneath my feet. Or should I, perhaps, hurl myself into that abyss to have my body scratched and mutilated beyond recognition, but before the end, give my soul the heady sensation of a fall. So that's The Fall. Okay. Looks like we're going to finish early today. I don't know if Jeet has joined.
Or if anyone else wants to perform.
Yes. Anything else? Or if you want to just have a little discussion, we have time today.
We also welcome any feedback or suggestions for the future.
I could do another one if we have time.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. This is again on identity, and it's titled Undoctrinate. And this is not a real word. I just tried to do a flip on indoctrinate, and so please don't use this word. It goes like this. What hides underneath all those layers? The layers you got padded with since birth. The layers you did not get to choose, but accept without questioning. Those unwarranted layers you feel comforted in. The layers you think define you, your identity, your being, your existence. Peel away the layers, my friend. Peel layer after layer until you emerge to yourself. Thank you.
I think if there's no one else and if Jeet hasn't joined, we can call it a night.
Okay, so do let your friends and know about this. The nice thing about open mics, why I love them, is because we come across such beautiful creativity. Most of the time, we think that creativity exists in books or films or something out there, but it actually exists in the very fabric of society. So it's just really nice to bring it out and start sharing it. So many people do so many things to make their lives meaningful and beautiful. And so it'll be nice to come bring those and share them with all of us. All right.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
This was
everyone.
good.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ida. Thank you, Shita.
Thank you.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Good night.
Good night.